Hey guys, this week I thought I would continue on from where I left off last week and give you a bit more info on my car history. After my show car phase, it was really the start of my drifting phase. My first sort of specific drift car was I bought a 180SX from a mate who just finished doing an RB25 DT swap. I found that car had plenty of power. It had lots of issues overheating, the big engine in it, and even with a bigger radiator, it was just still struggling, particularly when I took it on track. And the other thing I found is having the big heavy iron 6 in the front of it, it really, it wasn't the right engine for the drift car. It threw the balance of the car out completely. There was too much weight over the front wheels. It understeered like a pig, which a lot of it's probably due to the fact that it was never set up very well for it. You know, all my cars always had like second-hand coilovers and things that I could scrounge. So I had some fun in that car, but eventually I moved it on. I bought another 180SX, this time with a CA18 turbo engine in it, and I drifted that. I got one track day out of it, and I got the dreaded rod knock at the track and drove it all the way home. I managed to get one block from my house before the rod smashed through the side of the block, and it seized and it was all over. So with that car dead, I bought an SR20 Turbo S13 Silvia, and that had actually been re-hit, and we did the full engine swap in that in the garage in a weekend. It was actually not too difficult, swapping everything, the computer, the whole lot. And that was my drift car for a couple of years. That was much more fun, much better balanced car. When I got it, I think it was midnight blue. I painted it white and then I airbrushed the car because that's what I did. And I was actually drifting if any of you remember the South Circuit at Oran Park, and I actually hit the wall, which runs along the straight. I hit it at the top of third gear. Basically, the first big corner at the end of the straight was a left-hander, so we'd come in at the top of third 100 metres early and kick to the right. We've been doing it all day and I was tired, and this time I kicked it and held it a little bit too long before I brought it back, and I hit the wall, and that was quite a hard hit, and it smashed the whole side of the car, but thankfully I managed to bring it around and hit flat, so it took the impact over the length of the car, and I actually managed to panel beat out the whole side of the car, respray it all, airbrush it all, and 10 days later I had it back out on the track, and lots of people were saying, didn't you just smash this car a week ago? But I managed to get the whole thing back together. But that car was fun, but I remember it was so loud. I stripped it out and removed all the sound deadening, and that's probably half the reason why I'm putting sound deadening and everything in this car, because I know what a stripped out car sounds like, and it was ear-shattering to drive anywhere. You couldn't, there was no point in having a stereo in it because you can't hear anything. Yeah, it was just so loud, particularly being a 180SX. The whole back of the car was completely empty. It was like sitting inside a drum. It was painful. So yeah, I'm over that sort of thing now. After that time, I sort of drifted away and met Mrs. Jeff and got married and did other things. I had a few other cars along the way. I had an E46 BMW 325 Ci, which I really loved. That was a great car. Forest XT. I had a Sora Turbo in there as well at some stage. So there was a few other bits and pieces. Then I actually I bought a Commodore Ute that I bought it damaged and fixed it all up, and I was airbrushing at the time, so I airbrushed the entire car. So that was quite a loud thing at the time. After a string of boring cars, the next most interesting car, and the only car I actually miss, I had a 2006 Porsche Cayman S, and that was a beautiful car. I drove the Great Ocean Road in that car. It was quite low and loud and great. We ended up trading that in on the S5, the Audi S5, which you've seen in the other videos. So that's basically where my car history is up to date. There's lots of other little bits and pieces around that I've left out because they're not very interesting or whatever. I had a Toyota Hilux lowrider phase. In any rate, that's it for my car history. Again, if you guys have got any other interesting things you want me to cover, through from painting tips to tools or a garage tour or whatever, let me know in the description below. Let me know if you like this sort of thing. If you don't, let me know as well. But in any case, that's it for this week, and I'll see you on the next one. See you guys.